does that mean, Camilla?
Well, what really sparked this rebound was last week there was a Senate hearing on cryptocurrencies, and SEC and CFTC heads adopted a very do no harm approach, which means they said, okay, we're watching the space. Investors need protection, but they didn't indicate that there was a strong hardline ban in consideration at all. More of like a wait and see approach. So that really, sparked more optimism in the sector.
So what's the timeline now? Because that was just a hearing, sort of to talk about it. Do we know if there is going to be some kind of increased regulation? And if so, when are we maybe going to hear about it?
There isn't an exact timeline in the works, but what we started to see end of last year, beginning of this year, was just an increased crackdown on ICOs that the SEC considered to be breaking securities regulations. So we might start seeing more of that, because so far we've only seen a handful. I think it's been only 3 ICOs that whose funds were seized, and that's a very, very small number considering the amount of money that's been raised, and the percentage of that which might be in largely violating securities regulations, probably. And besides, on the U.S. side, we saw negative headlines subsiding from the rest of the world. I mean, beginning of this year, we saw really big negative news from South Korea and China saying they're considering banning ICOs completely or restricting trading even further, and those headlines have subsided.
So I think it's been a giant hustle. I mean, I am very confident that there's some very, very powerful and affluent people that are taking advantage of this market, because obviously you just heard that the news is pumping all this negative news. We had our crash. I mean, this was like the high point. We basically just kept getting negative news pumped down to this low right here. And what do you know? All of a sudden, a bunch of positive news about regulation comes out, and we haven't had the strong rebound that I was hoping for, but it seems that we're not too far away from it. And I think a lot of this is basically just fear, because there was a lot of news saying that, oh, it's going to be a ban, it's going to be a ban. And in reality, the governments are not looking to ban cryptocurrency. They're looking to tax and regulate it, and hopefully prevent scams like BitConnect from happening. And that's exactly what's happening in the US, China, Korea, these markets. And in order for this market to actually grow and be properly regulated and healthy, you need these regulations. So the regulations that will come out could be negative, but I doubt it. I do feel like the regulations, if you want to check this channel, we have Arizona that's hopefully going to allow cryptocurrency payments for taxes. And it makes sense, because why give 3% to MasterCard or Visa when, some of these cryptocurrencies, I just sent, almost $2,000 of Litecoin for less than 2 cents. So, I mean, there's a lot of use for this technology. I don't know if it's going to be used as a currency. If you want to watch the previous video I posted, I think it's more of a store of value, but it can still be used as a payment method for low fees. And I do feel, with the right regulations, we're easily going to break the market cap of 1 trillion. And I don't think it's going to take very much to get us back to $500 billion, the 500 billion mark. So $500 billion. So yeah, I'm very bullish. Let me know what you guys think as the audience. But all I've seen today is just positive news, and I don't see that the regulations will be harsh. I think the regulations are actually necessary for rebounding the market and to have it properly regulated. And like I said, we're still waiting for ETFs and Wall Street to put their money in. So once it is properly regulated, I can see the market cap being 5 trillion or 8 trillion, if they allow ETFs and institutional money to get in. So, this is going to be the point where we look back and say, wow, it was cheap back then. I mean, we may never see a 200 or 300 million dollar market cap for cryptocurrencies ever again, and it may not even go back to 400 billion. But time will tell. But please, if you're watching this, subscribe to the channel. If you see this on Facebook, please like the page and give me your comments. I really like your reviews and opinions. And just so you know, this Thursday, Mendy will not be on the show. We're going to reschedule for next Thursday. But if you do leave your comments and opinions, we're going to actually have a segment where we go over everyone's opinions, and we're going to try to take some of the best comments that we have. And also on another lighter note too, we're going to start a drawing for one Litecoin. We're going to be giving away one Litecoin a month. So just look for that. We'll probably be setting it up for the month of March 1st. And, why not? We're finally getting enough views and enough growth in this channel where we want to give back to the viewers, especially people that are leaving good comments. So thought I'd put it up there. And I'll talk to you guys soon. And thank you for watching.